Did we stop recording?
It's recording right now.
Okay. Thumbs up if you understood that page. You didn't understand that page. Okay.
We got her out of our way.
So the biggest thing when you measure is you want to make sure you choose the correct side. Remember, the inch side, it'll say a little IN, and it goes to the 12. If you accidentally are on the centimeter line, it goes to 30. Do not do the centimeter line. We're only focused in on the inch side, and that goes to 12 inches. Does anybody know what 12 inches equals? One what? Do you know, Riley?
Foot.
1 foot. So this ruler is 1 foot long. All right, go ahead and flip your page to 550. So we are on page 550. Now that Harper's done, we can scooch back a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Riley, you want to read us this problem?
Yes. Work with a classmate. Use both of your rulers to measure the length of the bulletin board or a window. What is the length?
All right, you may do this at home with your own window. Riley and I are going to actually measure the length of this bulletin board. So I'm going to back up the camera so you can see exactly how you're going to do it at your house. Back up.
So you're going to start?
All the way at the top.
Wait, are we measuring like the whiteboard or out here?
It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do.
We'll measure it instead because it's easier. So you're going to start all the way at the top.
Okay, and then your partner's going to have to notch where the notch is. Remember, we notched yesterday as well.
And then once you do that, you're going to go down right there. And then you're going to draw another one.
Okay, so there's 2 notches so far.
Then you're going to draw another one.
We're at 3 notches.
And it's about
Half.
half.
Okay, so if we counted up our notches, we had 1 notch here, another notch here, another notch here, and a half a notch here. So we had 1, 2,
3 and a half.
3.5 notches. Now, the thing with that though is, those are not 3.5 inches. That would be 3.5 what?
Wait, what?
It would be 3.5 what?
Feet?
Feet. And the question is asking for how many inches that is. So how many inches is in 1 foot?
12.
12. So how many times do we have to add up 12 together?
3.
Can you move that chair out of there? Daddy's stuff's in the way. Okay, so we have 12 plus 12 plus 12, because that was the 3 feet, plus we have half of a foot. How do I add in half? What's half of a foot?
Half of a foot is 6 inches.
Good. So here's the full foot. If we bend it in half, so it was equally, so I guess it was good we used this ruler because we could bend it in half. If you can see right there in the middle is a 6. So 3.5 would be 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 feet, and then a half would be 6. And then Riley, you can add those numbers together to find out the total amount of inches.
Okay. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus another 2 is 10, and plus another 2 is 12. So put the 2 and carry the 1. And then 4 times is 4. So 42 inches.
Very good. So we want to write 42 inches here. Now, is your answer going to be the same as my answer? Probably not. You're supposed to be measuring a bulletin board or a window. If you have a bulletin board at home, you could measure your bulletin board. If you don't, then I know everybody has at least 1 window in their house. Measure your window. But now you can see how to do it. You can just use the feet. It would take a really long time to count all of the individual inches. So count out the feet. Know that each foot represents 12. So if you have 4 feet, you would just add in an extra 12. If it was only 2 feet, you would have 2 12s. And if there's any extra inches, you can add those in at the end. So our bulletin board was 42 inches.
It's a whiteboard, but.
So it says, describe what you did in exercise 9. How did you measure a length that is longer than your ruler?
I know.
Well, what did we do, Riley?
We drew notches like this, so we would know where we left off and where we would start with the next one.
Good answer. So we drew notches, so we knew where to end and then where to start our next one. And then after we counted our notches, we were able to determine how many ruler lengths that window was. All right.
Okay.
So measure the length of the yarn with your ruler. So I'm going to take out my ruler. Okay, here's my ruler. Making sure I go to the inch side. The inch side has how many inches on it? 12. If you accidentally are on the centimeter side, that's 30. Don't do centimeters. We're only on the inch side. So I'm going to start right here on the 0. So the 0 and the line match up.
It's about
And I'm
3.
going to go all the way down to what number it's closest to, and it's closest to the 3. So let's answer the questions. The yarn is about 2 inches long. Yes or no? No. Well, we're going to fill in the bubble now.
Can you see what this?
The next one. The yarn is about 3 inches long. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it was exactly 3 inches. Was the yarn shorter than 2 inches? No. Was the yarn longer than 2 inches? Yes, very good.
No, yes, no, yes.
All right, so make sure you have that all filled in. We're going to do the homework page next. If you don't have that part written in, hit the pause button and then continue once you have that all filled in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on. We're moving on to page 551.
Homework.
And do the homework page together.
Okay.
So we're going to measure the length. Let me get rid of this because I feel like it's distracting.
I can do it. Okay.
Measure the length with your ruler. So I'm going to go to my inch side. I feel like we can back this
I have
up
a
little
really
bit.
small chair, guys. Sorry.
Back up.
Ah.
Okay. I'm starting with my inches. I know it's
5.
inches because it goes to the 12.
5.
Starting with the 0, looking at where it ends, and it goes to the 5. So I'm going to write down about 5 inches.
I can't write it like that.
All right, the next one. I'm going to start with my 0, making sure I'm on the inch side. Don't give them the answers, Riley, until they look.
Sorry.
How many inches does it stop at? And
Okay.
Riley was right, it is 2. All right, the next one looks like a scarf. I'm going to start at the 0, and I'm looking at what number it ends on. What number does it end on?
4.
And this one right about 4 inches. Now it says, use your ruler. Measure the width of this page in inches. Width is across this way.
This way. So I would do it at the bottom since the clips are
We can actually do it right in the middle of the page.
there.
So starting at the 0 at the crease, and we can
8.5.
see it is it closer to the 9 or the 8 though? Because we want to go to the nearest inch.
It's like both. Well, like, are you talking about the edge, like all
Of
the way
just
at the
this
bottom?
page.
Oh, then it's closer to the 8.
Okay, so we're going to write it's about 8 inches. And it says, would you rather use the color tiles or the ruler to measure the length of an object? And explain your choice. Now, does this answer have to look exactly like my answer?
No.
Because you might think one way's easier, and I might think another way's easier. Riley, which way do you think's easier?
I would pick the ruler because, like, then you would have to cut out all the tiles and you would have to, like, do all the other sorts of stuff. But with a ruler, you have them already on, and you could just do it straight across. And
Okay.
then look where it is.
So go ahead and write down ruler for your reason. And you said because the numbers are already there.
How do you spell ruler?
R-U-L-E-R.
I'm not good with spelling, guys. Ruler?
And then say why. Because the numbers are already there, you said. Some of you might have chosen the color tiles because you don't have to worry about figuring out if it's the inch side or the centimeter side. You know that if you put up those color tiles and there's 5 of them, you know it's 5 inches. So there's a little bit less thinking if you have the color tiles. Riley likes that she doesn't have to cut it out or find the pieces or touch the slobbery ones from Harper.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're not done copying this side, hit the pause button. We're moving on to page 552. So when you're ready, go ahead and hit the play button.
Are we doing 2 lessons today or just 1?
Just one today.
Oh.
Okay, as usual, the back side of your homework is a review. So if we take a look at the first problem, it says use your ruler. What is the length of this ribbon? So I'm going to start at the edge of my ruler right at the 0, and I'm going to follow my finger all the way. What number is it closest to?
4.
It is the 4. So we're going to write in about 4 inches.
What time?
What time is shown on this clock? So remember yesterday I taught you that song, if it's in between, you go back. If it's in between, you go back. So if you look at the clock, it's in between the 3 and the 4. So are we going back to the 3 or forward to the 4, Riley?
I have 2 questions. One, why do you snap instead of clap?
I think in the Addams Family they snap. That's where I got the song from.
Ah. And then what was your question?
Okay, if it's in between the 3 and the 4, are we going back to the 3 or forward to the 4?
Back. So 3.
So the hour is 3, and we know that's the hour because that's the shorthand. And the long hand is pointing at the 9, so we always start at the 12. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So it's 3:45. Sometimes we can call that quarter till 4.
And we don't know if it's AM or PM.
And we don't know if it's AM or PM. There's no clues to tell us that. All right, what is the total value of those coins? Riley, what are those coins?
These 2 are quarters, and this one is a dime.
Good. So quarters, I always put 5 dots on them because I like to use my dots when I'm counting money. And dimes get 2 dots. So when I'm counting it, I'm going to use it as a pointer. I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So a total of 60 cents. If I knew that the quarters were worth 50 and I wanted to save some time, I could sing my quarter song, 25, 50, and then I would stop and then do 55, 60. Okay?
Can I read it?
Go ahead.
The first group collected 238 cans. The second group collected 345 cans. How many cans did the 2 groups collect?
So are we going to first circle the important numbers, 238, 345. And it says how many did the 2 groups collect. It doesn't say how many more.
Oh, God, you scared me.
Subtract. It doesn't say that. So we're actually going to combine the 2.
You scared me.
And when we combine, we're going to add up and down. So 238 plus 345. Now I'm going to give everybody a minute to try to solve that because I know...
Can I solve it?
Not
after?
right now. We're
like
gonna,
after that.
Yeah.
What are we counting to?
I'm just giving them a minute to get the problem written down, and I want them to try to solve it on their own. Remember to always start in that. Don't distract them, Riley.
I'm counting it at 60 because you said a minute.
Always start in the ones place, then move over to the tens place, then to the hundreds place. If you have to regroup, make sure you regroup. You move it over if you have to. All right, let's see who got it right. So let's start in the ones place. 8 plus 5
is 13. Carry the 1, and then 3 plus 4 is 7, plus another 1 is 8.
I like how she didn't forget to add in that 1 that she regrouped right there. That was good.
And then 2 plus 3 is 5. And then we need a label. The label is cans.
All right, very good. So she made sure that she started in the ones place. 8 plus 5 equals 13. She carried her 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. And then 2 plus 3 equals 5. And then she added her label in at the cans.
Can I read it again?
Go ahead.
There are 2 children in each row. How many children are in 5 rows? Did you multiplying it or are we adding? Okay. So
Draw an array.
Oh, okay.
So if there's 5 rows, we want to do 5 X's going down. So we have row 1, row 2, row 3, row
Oh, I
4,
know.
row 5, and there's 2 kids in each row. So 2 kids in the first row, 2 kids in the second row, 2 kids in the third row, 2 kids in the fourth row, 2 kids in the fifth row. Kind of reminds me of a roller coaster. So when you're riding a ride, it's usually 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So 5 rows, 2 in each row. How many total kids are there? You're going to count up that total amount. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 total children.
That's how old I am.
All right, boys and girls, that is all for today for math. So I hope that helped you with your lesson. Make sure you follow along, pause it if you need to go back and fill in anything else. But if not, you should be good to go. And I hope that you are having fun with this measurement and that you're learning how to use your ruler. Remember, if you don't have a ruler at home, make sure you contact me, have your parents send me an email, write me on Google Classroom, and I can mail you a paper one in the mail, okay? All right, I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.